Welcome back to NeXt Gaming, where we cover everything newsworthy that pertains to games. If you want to support the channel, hit the subscribe button. We create gaming and movie related content daily. Starting with the games that came out this week, we got Marvel's Midnight Suns that hit last gen PS4 and Xbox One yesterday, and then The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom hit today on the Nintendo Switch. We also have Humanity hitting PS4 and PS5. I believe it's in the extra tier for PlayStation Plus. It is a puzzle indie game. Looks pretty interesting. As for reviews, we have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom getting a 96 out of 100 on Metacritic out of 87 reviews. I am curious to see if this is going to go down because there was one mixed review that put it off as a 60, which I feel is a little low, but it brought it down a little bit. It should probably have been like 98 on Metacritic, I imagine, and that's a damn near perfect game. And I feel like this is a little overhyped, you know? This is running on really old hardware. It does not look as well as I would imagine. I want a good Legend of Zelda. I want Final Fantasy level graphics on a Legend of Zelda. I just want to see it. It's been like forever since I played a Legend of Zelda and didn't think of, you know, like the Wind Waker. It just wasn't for me, you know. And this is kind of like the same gist, you know. If there's a price drop or if I can get it cheaper on Amazon, I'll probably pick it up pretty soon. But if not, I'm probably just gonna wait a while. Alright guys, on to the headlines of the show. Starting out with the PS5 Pro. Apparently, there are rumors circulating around in the gaming sphere that the dev kits have been sent out or will be sent out in the next couple of months to the first party devs, and with third party getting them at the end of this year. This isn't really surprising. This is pretty much just the ball getting rolling. I imagine the PS5 Pro is coming out 2024. I know some people are hesitant. They feel like they just got it a year or two ago and they don't want a Pro. But I would happily take a PS5 Pro, especially if it was a little bit smaller. But I have no problems with a Pro, especially if the games are all going to be 60 frames per second across the board, or 120 if possible. Can you imagine? I really don't know what to expect from a PS5 Pro, but we're going to find out probably within the next 6 months, I imagine. We're going to hear something. It also makes me think, is Xbox pivoting to PC because they know the PS5 Pro is planned and coming out next year, and they don't have anything in the backlog ready. They don't have a new Xbox getting situated, so they know that they're going to be outmatched in the console game. Is that their headspace? Because that would make sense, because if the PS5 Pro can do 60 to 120 FPS, no problem, you know, no problem, then the Xbox is in some serious heat. Speaking of Xbox, Phil Spencer's interview sparked some controversy, to say the least, with many all over the place, some blaming Phil, some wanting Phil to get fired, some thinking it's Microsoft kind of like handling all the strings, you know. So I don't know. I honestly think Phil should be, you can check out my whole, I made like a 7-minute video talking about the whole interview, but I do believe he should be held accountable. I don't think he should just get a free pass because his company sucks. He works there, he's the face of Xbox. You got to take it on the chin, which I feel like he did for the most part, but he still did make some excuses about Redfall. The game shouldn't have came out. It should have got delayed. I don't care about any creative differences with the teams or any of that PR bullshit. The game just shouldn't have come out. It makes Xbox look bad, but at the same time, it makes it even look worse if none of your games really came out that you said were going to come out. You know, at least they have Redfall out there. But I mean, is it worth it? Was it worth it, Phil Spencer? I don't think it was worth it. Next up, we got Apple Arcade turning heads with the TMNT roguelike game that they have on their service. It's funny, people can hate on Apple TV, but Apple Arcade gets a pass because of this roguelike. I don't get it. I like Apple TV. I think it has a lot of interesting shows, but people just rag on it all the time. I don't understand, like in the movie community, the streaming culture, they just think there's too many services and they don't want to pay for an extra one. And it just blows my mind because people bought into Disney Plus that has much less content, you know, than Apple TV. So that's crazy. But the Apple Arcade gets a pass for some reason. I guess I'm not really too interested in this roguelike top-down TMNT game. I'm not into it. Not really for me. But I am interested to see where Apple is going. I want to see if they are they really going to get serious about getting into the gaming sector. You know, that would be really really interesting to see. You know, we all saw Google's attempt, and Google did not have a successful attempt, so Apple could go the same route. But we also heard Apple is diving into their own VR, and they're gonna make something just superior in comparison to the MetaQuest at the very least. I don't know if it can top the PSVR 2. I've heard that's like top-notch technology, but we'll see. We got news this week that Warner Bros. Actually might be planning a Superman game to go alongside the new film. That would be incredible, and I would buy it, because I haven't played a Superman game in literally over a decade now. It's probably even longer than that. It was like 07 when that Superman Returns game came out, or if you count Injustice, I guess, or the Mortal Kombat versus DC. If you want to count fighting games, I guess he's been in the culture a little bit, in the gaming culture in the past 10 years, but not really, essentially. That would be really cool. I don't know really what James Gunn is doing with the movie or the film. I don't know if it's going to be based off of the film, or it's just going to come out kind of like how Arkham Asylum did, because I believe that came out around Dark Knight when the Batman films were at its peak. They had a game to go alongside it. I don't know if it's going to be that route, or if they're going to do it like the Superman Returns route, where it's like it wasn't exactly like the movie, but they like took a lot from the movie. You know, I wonder how they're going to go about doing that, if that's true. Hopefully it is, because I think they've worn out their welcome with Batman, especially with Gotham Knights. Like, you thought you could just branch away from Batman and do your own thing with the Batverse, but obviously that's not what people wanted. The PSVR 2 is now listed on retailer sites, so you can get them at Best Buy, I imagine Walmart. It's just going to go across the board soon, but this is nice. Hopefully this drives sales. Hopefully this is going to be a boost, because obviously people don't really buy off of the Sony website unless you're a hardcore, like you were already going to buy the VR, you know. But when it comes to just regular everyday customers that see it, they see it every day, maybe they pass it, and then they finally get the idea to grab it. I don't know. I have no idea if it's going to have like a kiosk, like how Walmart has the MetaQuest kiosk, or if you're just gonna see it down below all the PS4 and 5 games. I don't know how they're gonna do it to make it, you know, jump out at people, but it's definitely gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna be interesting, because I want to see if it improves things. I want to see if people are really diving into VR. Me personally, I'm not really a big VR guy, and it's really expensive. It's $550 for an experience I don't think I'm gonna dig, but also I'm kind of traumatized because of the MetaQuest too. That was not for me. It gave me headaches. The game quality, it had to be at like full charge to really get a decent quality. So I don't know. I'm not really digging the MetaQuest, and that's disappointing because it is an expensive system, but we got it like half off, so that's cool. Didn't waste too much money. The Pixel Remaster Collection also hit its $2 million benchmark on units sold. That's insane, but at the same time, it's Final Fantasy. I wanted to get the physical copy. I'm so pissed. Square Enix put the pre-orders up at like 2-3 in the morning, and they were all gone. But that is infuriating, because I'll get it on the PSN eventually, you know, or the PlayStation Store, but honestly, there's no rush now. Shit, like if I had the physical copy, I'd be playing it right now and telling you guys what's up. But it's just a bitch. That is I just hate this digital market, man. Did they not think this was gonna sell? This was gonna sell. I would have bought this. Payday 3 also got teased. Gameplay is coming this summer, so expect it probably around the Summer Games Fest, I imagine. But they, I don't know. They really need a graphical upgrade. I was not really into Payday that much. It was really janky at times. Now going back to it, now it seems like with all the copycats that have come out that kind of mirror what Payday did originally, it looks so much better than all the copycats, but they really need to do something awesome. And hopefully it don't come out as bad as Crime Boss Rocket City. That was a terrible game. That's a legitimate terrible game. Do not buy it. We also got new details for Starfield coming from the ESRB rating board, confirming that there are in fact going to be in-game purchases, which this could be anything. This could be mods, this could be skins, little things like that, or it could be something major, but I don't think they have the balls to do that. But at the same time, this is a Game Pass title, so they're going to want their revenue from this. This is a huge title, so they're going to want some type of revenue. So I would imagine it could go both ways. they could be doing some fuck shit and make it where if you want to get to a location faster, you could buy this jet fuel, you know, or not, I guess it wouldn't be like jet fuel, but it'd be like some significant fuel that would make you go faster to get from point A to point B, but you have to pay $2 or some shit. I don't know. They could do something crazy like that. I hope they don't. I hope they just keep it to skins and mods and just like I think it's called like the Creation Lab. If I might have fucked that up, but if it's along those lines, I'm cool with it. But don't ruin a game. Do not. This game already has so much stress on its back. It does not need any more. Speaking of VR, Meta is also hosting its next VR gaming showcase in June. Will we see the Quest 3? Some people were pointing that out, that the Quest 2 is getting a little old. It came out in 2020. I didn't even know it was that old. But yeah, I could fully expect them to showcase something in development at the very least. Hopefully they put something out soon, because the Quest 2 sucks. In my opinion, I'm not for it. It's a great first step, but if the Quest 3 blows it out of the water, that's going to be insane. And Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, they're putting billions into this project, so I imagine they got to have something, right? By the way, Carl Urban, the Boys star, that's what he's mostly probably known for now because that show's such a hit, but he is reportedly playing Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 2, the sequel to the Mortal Kombat movie that came out a couple years ago. Honestly, I really want him for Wolverine, but I also don't know if he fits Cage too much. I know a bunch of people are losing their minds. They're super pumped up for it, but I don't think he's Johnny Cage. You know, when I think of Johnny Cage, I think of like a Ryan Reynolds, you know, kind of a cocky dude. I mean, he could probably be cocky, but I don't know. I don't really see him as Johnny Cage, in my honest opinion, but I do love him. I love the actor. I love most of the roles that he's been in. The Boys is amazing. Such a stellar show. I cannot wait for the next season, but this is interesting as well. Very interesting. But come on, Wolverine. Make him Wolverine. He looks like fucking Wolverine. For some bad news, we got Deep Silver restructuring with some layoffs involved. Apparently the name might be changed as well. I wonder if that's already updated. Okay, so I didn't know Deep Silver was an Austrian video game publisher. They are a division of this company called Playon? I don't really know how to pronounce that, but apparently I've heard from others that this is going to be the name going forward. I don't believe that. I don't know. That seems a little strange to me, to replace Deep Silver with Playon, or Playon, whatever you want to say. But I guess we'll just have to keep close to this and see what happens. I'm sure we'll find out at any box art that comes out. Also, during a Q&A conference call, President of Nintendo has admitted Nintendo's 2022 holiday season was disappointing. As the Switch goes into its 7th year on the market, the sales are beginning to slow quicker than previously estimated. The goal of 15 million units this fiscal year is looking more and more of a stretch at this point in Nintendo's eyes. Having hardware sales down 22% with no successor lined up as of now until possibly spring 2024, when we might possibly get a Switch successor. What do you guys think? Is Nintendo playing 4D chess at this point? How long can the Switch last, Nintendo? Seems like a light year for Nintendo, having pretty much just Zelda and Pikmin 4 alongside the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. But you can't deny 1 billion in software sales, 125 million in hardware. That's some numbers. They're pulling some weight. 2023's Call of Duty is rumored to be announced in August. New details have emerged for the next Call of Duty, rumored as the Modern Warfare Roman numeral 3, including a campaign, a zombies mode, and a new Warzone map in the first season. It's indeed a premium release, not a premium DLC that was previously reported for the longest. But my question is, can Sledgehammer front the development for a Modern Warfare mainline title? I'm sure Treyarch will be helping with zombies and Infinity Ward overseeing things in general. I hope. Sledgehammer just doesn't have a good track record with me personally, but this also makes me worried about Treyarch's game, because if they have to keep taking time off to help Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward over the past 2 years, then is their game going to suffer? Are we going to get less zombie maps? What's the deal? What's the deal? Summer Games Fest is 1 month away, with Jeff showing off the 2023 partners, including pretty much everyone but Nintendo. Kind of crazy, but consolidation is key. Who would want to watch 20 different streams throughout June? I feel like there was a point when all the companies were doing their own little live stream. Like I think Ubisoft had like a 40-minute one, and it's just that's too much, you know? I don't want to have to kind of go back and forth and see which times or which things or when is this happening. Just make it one big show that everybody shows up for, and just fair competition like E3 was for so many years. Speaking of Mortal Kombat, earlier in the show, we do have more details on its new release. Apparently this leak is claiming it's going to be a reboot. It's not going to be Mortal Kombat 12, it's going to be Mortal Kombat 1. They're also teasing this with some videos along the same lines. I hope it isn't going to be 1. I hope it's just like kind of like an analogy that we're restarting. We're not just going to put 1 in the title, because that just looks off to me. I'd rather just say Mortal Kombat, just buy Mortal Kombat. Or put a slash through it. I don't know what they're going to do, but the release is apparently scheduled for September, coming to the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles and PC. There's also a Nintendo Switch version in the works as well, apparently. It's a cheaper edition. It's about $10 less, so I don't know if it's going to be less graphical fidelity. I have no idea, but there's also a premium at $110 and a collector's with a K coming in at $250. That's insane. I'm definitely not going to pick that up, but we did have sources corroborated that it is a reboot called Mortal Kombat 1 coming for September 2023 as the launch window, with a character pass including Peacemaker. I also heard Homelander as well as many others, so I don't know what the hell they're planning, but that's going to be really interesting. It'd be strange to see Amazon and Warner Bros work together with Homelander. That one kind of came off really strange. Like, I could see Peacemaker because of HBO, you know, HBO Max, but Homelander, that's a little bit more of a stretch. But they've gotten Terminator and RoboCop and so many other characters. I think they can manage it, and that would be a really interesting character as well to add into Mortal Kombat. He would fit it very, very well, I'd imagine, Homelander. The Asus Rogue Ally pre-orders have gone live. It's a little pricey at $700. There is a less powerful version planned for Q3 2023 for $600. And so that, you know, that's about $50 more than the best Steam Deck on the market, with them pointing out the superior power, resolution, the weight. The battery life is a little low at 2 hours. Gonna be interesting how that goes through. I wonder how Nintendo feels knowing they have competition in the handheld market. We'll talk more on the system when they launch next month. And in the show off, we have a rumor circulating around that is pretty much a given, and it kind of lines up with my prediction, so that's awesome. But the rumor circulating around that the Sony Showcase Date is going to be the week of the 25th of May. So as expected, you know, we got a little bit of a week to go, a little over a week, I should say. But this is the summer of Sony at this point. I cannot wait. I can't wait to see this showcase. You know this is going to be some big hitters. You know they're going to pack a punch. I can guarantee you this showcase is going to go off the fucking wall. They have to. This is the greatest time to do it, okay? This is the best time. Microsoft's deal just got denied. It's kind of like in the limbo. You know, they can start showing off some of their shit, because I feel like both companies were kind of like, to make their cases better, leaning away from any positivity, to be honest. Like, we haven't seen anything from Sony for the longest, ever since that deal kind of got jump started. You know, we were probably supposed to see Spider-Man 2 last fall, but they were like, you know what, we can't show that because that shit looks amazing and that'll make us look bad in this argument, you know. But I don't know, I can't wait to see what happens. There's going to be a lot of games that we've already seen with some more detail, I imagine, but I want to see more. I just want to see what do they have in the pipeline. What's this, you know, FPS live service game that they're working on, you know? If you didn't know, they're working on a live service FPS game with Bungie creators and Sledgehammer Games developers. It's just like a mesh of great developers. I believe there's Titanfall developers as well. So it's just fucking, I cannot wait. Can't wait. Anyway, guys, that's it for the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to join the Wolfpack. Peace.